I have had 4 root canal treatments. My dad is a retired dentist, and yet I've still managed to turn my mouth into a $10,000 crime scene. Today is day 1 of 30 life lessons, and we're starting off with the one habit that finally stopped the bleeding, literally and financially. Floss your teeth every single night, without fail, no matter what. Now I know you've heard this 1,000 times before. What am I, your parents? But there's a massive difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it. I had the knowledge my entire life. My dad is a literal dentist, and I still failed. So I'm gonna share with you what turned this chore into a 7-year streak. My dad always told me, you don't have to floss all your teeth, just the ones you want to keep. Ha ha, funny, right? Here's what you might find surprising. Despite having the dental dad home court advantage, I rarely flossed, sometimes going weeks without doing it. On top of that, I've always had a sweet tooth. I knew I should floss, it's obvious, but I do it for like 3 days and then just fall off the wagon. But then something changed, he said dramatically. And spoiler alert, now I've flossed every night for the last 7 years without missing a single night. Believe it or not, no matter how tired, no matter how drunk, no matter what has happened, no matter what kind of a bad day I've had, you might say I floss religiously. So what actually got me to change after all these years? Well, despite having a dentist dad, at some point I was getting like 1 to 2 cavities per year, having to get those fillings, and then I had my first root canal. Several years later, I had 4 root canals. At this point, it became evident through my own real-world experience that this was just not good. It was no longer just something I was supposed to do, this flossing that people tell you about. Like, it had become real. Having this realization, I started flossing that night. Then, the next night. Then I started thinking, I've flossed every day this week so far. Let's see if I can keep up this streak for a while. Then it was a month. Then several months. Then, and I think this is very key, you start to feel proud of yourself because you're finally doing the thing that you know you should be doing. And here's the other motivating part. The number of tooth problems I have had since has absolutely plummeted. I almost never go to the dentist now. Actually, when I went in, I asked if I need a cleaning. She looked and she was like, no, you're good. I heard the same thing from another dentist later too. Eventually I just went in and did a cleaning anyway because it had been 2 years and I started to feel strange. You're supposed to do them theoretically every 6 months. So here it is. The only thing I do. Every night before getting into bed, I floss and then brush my teeth. I don't even do anything in the morning either. I know some people are all about brushing their teeth in the morning. I'm just sharing with you what has worked for me, my specific results. So this one simple change has made a huge impact, and I really wish that I had started it earlier. To be honest, sometimes I really don't feel like it. But I know I have this huge multi-year streak going. I don't want to break that. It's almost even part of my identity now. Plus, I've seen how it's saved me time from having dental problems. So listen, if you've been putting this off, consider this your call to action to actually start doing it tonight. Let me know in the comments below if you're actually going to do it. Lastly, because my dad would kill me if I didn't show you the right way, most people push the floss straight up. Don't do that. Here's the correct flossing technique. If necessary, you first seesaw the floss to get it past this little point here. That's to avoid suddenly, boom, hitting your gums hard with the floss. Once it's past this point, here's the important part. You want to floss in a C shape towards the roots of the tooth. This way. You don't want to be going that way up against the gums themselves. Easy, right? So tell me, what is a simple life lesson you have learned the hard way? Let me know in the comments below. By the way, I'm doing one of these life lesson videos every single day for the next 30 days, so I will see you tomorrow.